tonight. For you guys who are here in the audience, you are fortunate because you get to see something that's going to happen that doesn't happen very often here at Parker Town Council. But before I go into it, I want to read y'all something. I received an email, I guess a couple weeks ago, that included a letter from a young lady named Skyla. So I'm going to throw my old man glasses on here, and I'm going to do my best to read this here. So, best part of this, and I wish you all could see it. It's a written on lined paper, and at the very top, it actually has in blue ink, it's 7:01 p.m. But we're not starting the meeting yet, because Skyla's going to start the meeting in just a sec. It says draft. So she actually put draft. So this is a draft letter to me. Awesome. Here's what the letter says. Mayor Mike, I think kids should be able to vote too. I know you might be thinking it would not turn out too well. Out there are some kids who are very smart and should be able to vote too, of course. Their parents will help them and should give them a lesson on how to vote and research their person to learn more about them and if they are good people to vote for. Maybe there are kids out there like me who would want to vote too and not wait until they are 18. How would we know if they are the right kids and are really good to vote or check their school record? If they are good and the records show that they are ready to vote, they will pass. If the school records are not good, they will not be eligible to vote. A reason kids should vote is that adults can vote, and some adults are no better than kids. I love that line, man. I'm gonna have that put on my car. So please, maybe try to make my idea a dream for real for all kids. P.S. I'd love to meet you. Sincerely, Skyla. So we have tonight, I invited Skyla to come and be mayor for the night. So Skyla, could you come on down here for me real quick? Everybody, this is Skyla. Say hi to Skyla, everybody. Give her a round of applause. All right, so Skyla, come on back here. Now, I'm going to test something first. You get to sit in my chair, and I'm going to wheel you forward, okay? Let's see if you're tall enough. How do you feel? You want a little bit higher?
No, I'm good.
You good? Because I can get our municipal code. Do you know what our municipal code is? That's our laws. Where is that book?
Mayor, I stole it.
See that big book that she's holding? That's our municipal code. That's the town of Parker's laws. You can sit. Do you want to sit on that? Will I give you a little bit more height so you can see everybody?
I'm fine.
You're fine. All right, I'm going to put it here just in case, okay? In case you change your mind. All right? Can you sit on it? He needs to see over it too. So, all right, so what we're going to do first is this. See, your letter is up in front of you there. I'm going to make sure the microphone's real close. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, my name is Skyla.
Look at this. She's ready to roll. All right, so Skyla, the first thing we do each meeting is I need you to grab this gavel. And in a second, you're going to bang it actually onto this, and you're going to say, I reconvene the Parker Town Council meeting. So go ahead and bang it. Perfect. Say, I reconvene.
I reconvene the town council meeting.
For September 16th, 2019.
For September 16th, 2019.
Excellent. Now, you're going to lead everyone in the most important thing we do here tonight, okay? You're going to ask everybody to stand up and join you in the Pledge of Allegiance. So go ahead and say that in there.
Can everybody stand up and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Perfect. All right, so let's pull you out a little bit. Now, the flag's right behind you, dear. So go ahead and turn around, face the flag, and everyone's going to wait to hear you start saying the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Fantastic. Have a seat, young lady. All right. So now we're going to get started. Okay. So this is my agenda. It looks all fancy and all. I didn't just take yours, did I? You're good?
You didn't. No, I'm good.
Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to say, do we have any special presentations?
Do we have any special presentations?
And it does not look like, actually, we skipped one little part. See, I'm a little off my game since you're sitting here. What we need to do is we need to say, the town council meeting has been reconvened at 7:05 p.m., So go ahead and say that.
The town council meeting has been reconvened at 7:05 p.m.
And say all council members are present,
All council members are present,
except Councilman John Dyak.
except Councilman John Dyak.
Perfect. So now we're on record. It's open, ready to go. Okay. Now, you're our only special presentation, so I guess we don't have to have you come up again, right? So this is what we're going to do. I know these words are really, really tiny. So can you read those, or do you want me to read them to you?
I can read those.
They're little. Okay, so go ahead and say, at 7:06 p.m.,
At 7:06 p.m.,
I'm going to open public comment.
I'm going to open public comment.
Okay, now I need you to read. I know it's a long paragraph. Go ahead and read that.
Public comment is an opportunity for town residents and other interested individuals to speak about items that are not on the agenda. This comment period is limited to 30 minutes total time, with each individual allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to speak. You must sign up ahead of time in order to comment, and the sign up begins 30 minutes before the start of the meeting. The town council will accommodate many speakers as possible during this time, with preference to town residents, but if comment extends beyond the allotted 30 minutes, town council will continue the comment period at the end of the meeting prior to adjourning for those who have signed up to the meeting.
Well, that was fantastic. You read it better than I could. And we have 2 people signed up. So go ahead and call up, say, could Mr. Martin McClammon come up, please?
Can Mr. Martin McClammon come up, please?
Excellent, okay.
Close enough, good job.
Good, now what we're gonna do is, you're gonna ask, so this is our little box that's gonna start the timer. See at the back there where it says 3 minutes on the wall? He gets to see one that's right above us that says 3 minutes too, okay? So, you're gonna ask him to state his name and address for the record, and then once he starts with his testimony, you're gonna hit that start button, okay? So go ahead and ask him to state his name and address for the record.
Can you state your name and address for the record?
My name's Martin McLaren. I live at 11505 Juniper Lane, Parker, Colorado.
Okay, and then he's gonna start talking and you'll hit the start button when he starts.
Can you go to the microphone?
Oh.
Thank you.
There you go.
Good evening, can you guys hear me okay? Perfect, okay. So my name's Martin McLaren. I've lived in Parker since 2014. It's been a fantastic place to live. I enjoy the cleanliness, the family-friendly feel, and the entrepreneurial spirit of the town. I'm a member of Citizens Climate Lobby, which is a non-profit, non-partisan advocacy organisation. We're focused on national policies to address climate change, and CCL is over 100,000 members nationally and 6,000 members here in Colorado. I'm asking the leaders of the town of Parker to initiate a review of the risks of climate change to our community and to take action to reduce the impact and plan for adaptation. So, in reading the town of Parker's official goals, include community engagement, enhancing economic vitality, and providing a safe and healthy environment for the community. Climate change poses economic and health risk for all communities, including Parker. I have a highlights page from the EPA, which really highlights some of the climate risks for Colorado, so that's available for you guys if you'd like to look at that after. And I think a considered discussion and action plan will help secure Parker's long-term vitality. There's also a huge economic opportunity with new jobs and industries that would be welcome in Parker. I see a great opportunity to start a discussion on climate in Parker. Over 60% of residents are very concerned about the impact of climate change, and over 50% expect the local government to take action on this issue. This is an urgent need, and I hope the spirit of collaborative government will encourage you to take action, and we'd love to participate or facilitate in building a climate resolution for Parker. Thank you for your time. Citizens Climate Lobby meets once a month, so we're on Facebook at Citizens Climate Lobby Parker Castle Rock. I'd love if anyone's interested to join up or have a discussion after this with the Town Council. So, thank you.
Much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Stop button.
Thank you, sir.
And then hit, see where it says last value? hit that and see it reset to 3 o'clock or 3 minutes. So now if we look, we only have one other person on here. So if you could say, could Miss Lois McLaughlin, Lois McLaughlin. So you say, please, could Miss Lois McLaughlin come up?
Could please Lois McLaughlin come up?
You'll say the same thing. So you'll say, please state your name and address for the record, please.
Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. Lois McLaughlin, 4939 North Highway 67, Sedalia.
When she starts talking, you'll hit the start button. Okay.
All right. So thanks for the opportunity to address you. I just wanted to speak along the same themes as the previous speaker. And just to point out that our Earth is definitely warming. And we are going to be, and we are already being affected, and we're going to be affected more as time goes on in both our health and what we've come to understand as our usual way of life, our usual infrastructure systems. I really feel like we all need to pull together to acknowledge this problem and to take steps to mitigate it. All levels of government need to get involved. You know, it's a big thing. So I'm requesting that this City Council consider drafting a letter or some sort of a position acknowledging this problem and its intention to address it. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
And then hit last value.
Thank you, Lois.
Perfect. Now say, I will close public comment at 7:13 p.m.
I will close public comment at 7:13 p.m.
Okay, and then now say next item on our agenda. Go ahead and say
Next item on our agenda,
is reports, items, and comments from mayor and council.
reports, comments, and items from mayor and council.
Okay, so say Councilman Josh Rivero first. So say that.
Councilman Josh Rivero.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a couple things came out of communication liaison meeting today. Just want to point out that our very own My Main Street and P3 was awarded a Silver Circle Award for Community Vision and Branding presented by 3CMA, which is City County Communications and Marketing Association, for the My Main Street project. The Silver Circle Award for Community Visioning and Branding Award category recognizes programs for promoting deliberations among diverse community interests in order to guide a community decision on a future direction or vision. We were one of 900 submittals, so it was pretty fairly well recognized, and pretty proud of the job Communications has done. With that, coming out October 1st is your monthly Talk of the Town to your mailboxes, and in it will be, I don't know if it's the first ever, but it's definitely the first in a long time, Parker's very own Blue Book. Familiar with these? It's neither a statement for nor against. It shows both sides, but it explains what you can vote on in November. And then addressing the excise tax will be right in the Talk of the Town, and then everything else will be here inside the Talk of the Town for your perusal. Please take the time to read it, form your opinion, and please, please, please cast your vote. That's all I got.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
Now Councilwoman Cheryl Pogue.
Now, Councilwoman Cheryl Bogue.
Okay. Madam Mayor, I do not have anything to report tonight.
Thank you very much.
Councilman Jeff Toborg.
Councilman Jeff Toborg.
Get it right. No one does if you don't. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just have a couple of things. Attended the Council of Arts, Science, and Culture's Oktoberfest, where I imagine Mr. Rivero is still drying out from that event. So, Josh, thanks for participating in that. Also attended TSG Auto's third annual First Responder Appreciation Day, where our very own Eric Graham and K9 Cato were honored for among the many things that they do. So if we have just a second, I'd like to read the nomination for Officer Graham. Officer Graham serves as a DUI instructor, driving instructor, less lethal munitions instructor, and certified drug recognition expert, in addition to his roles on the Peer Support, Honor Guard, Police Training Officer Program, Department Mentor Program, and Traffic Accident Investigations. He's also the handler and trainer for K9 Cato, together who have developed an outstanding reputation in finding illegal narcotics. K9 Cato was also successful in locating a handgun that was hidden near a public sidewalk following a felony menacing, helping to keep our community safe. Thanks to Officer Graham and K9 Cato for your dedication and leadership. So.
Awesome. Say thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Renee Williams.
I think the only thing I have to say is I know who we should put on the next ballot for mayor, right? Excellent job.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Debbie Lewis.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and I concur with Councilwoman Williams. Yeah, we'll get you on the ballot. A couple of things. I had a business retention meeting with Darlene from Economic Development at Party America two weeks ago, I guess it has been now. They are well. They're happy with what is going on currently. The only thing that they really had to say that was troubling is something that we've talked about from this dais before, is Amazon has impacted their sales, and which consequently impacts sales tax to us. They do a really good job, and they afford an opportunity for young people. They really work around their schedules for school, and they have some good folks there that stay. Also, 2 weeks ago, I was at Art in the Park. Didn't purchase as much as I usually do, but did contribute. Went to on Thursday night, we had the Years of Service Awards dinner. It was very wonderful to see all the people there, and some of us have changed and some of us have not. We do have our very own Jim Cleveland, who's here this evening, and he has been with us for 25 years. He started when he was 15. So we really appreciate that. I also attended on Sunday, Oktoberfest. I'm sorry I didn't get to dunk Josh, but it's been pretty busy in and around town here. So thank you.
Madam Mayor, if I may, one more item,
Thank you very much.
one more update.
Let me do mine real quick.
Yep.
So then say Mayor Wade.
Mayor Wade.
All right, so my two updates, one of them is to thank Councilman Josh Rivero, who with the Cherry Creek Valley Rotary Club of Parker, he spearheaded our annual 9/11 First Responders Breakfast. That's where our club brings breakfast to our police department and our fire stations that are in Parker. I was able to bring breakfast burritos down to the Stroh Ranch fire station, and they were all very appreciative as usual. And Josh, thank you for your time and effort on that. And then we had our Years of Service banquet. It's a testament to the town of Parker to have so many employees who've been here for so long. It's not just, 2 years, 3 years. I mean, we have 5 years, 10 years, 15, 25, and longer. And in fact, for those of you who are sitting in the audience who don't realize, our town clerk was the very first employee in the town of Parker, and she was also part of the group that formed Parker in 1981 when we incorporated. So it's kind of cool to be able to brag about that when I talk to other mayors, that we have employee number one still working for us after all that time. So that's all I've got. So say thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Rivero.
Mr. Rivero.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I apologize. One more thing, Councilman Toborg, and then obviously Mayor Wade reminded me, and Councilwoman Lewis, I had a business retention visit. I cannot speak tonight. I need more coffee.
You're making him nervous.
Yeah, you're making me nervous. I had a business retention visit also with Welcome Home Brewery. It is a Blue family-owned business here in town, and I promised that I would pass along Sundays at 5 p.m. coming up on the 29th of September and the 13th of October. They have Badges and Brews, and that is a night where they gather corrections, dispatch, EMS, nurses, firefighters, police, and military to hang out amongst your own and vent and party and do whatever you'd like to do. So if you're any one of those categories, or if you support those categories, go on down to Welcome Home Brewery and support a Blue family-owned business.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so now we're at the point where I'm going to have to switch with you. But before I switch, I want you to look out at your audience. Is there anything you'd like to say to everyone out there? Oh, come on. How about why you think you should vote? Like your letter.
I haven't thought about that.
You haven't thought about that? Okay, so here's a little education for Skyla and for all of you out there. There are only 3 things required to be on town, to run for town council or mayor. Only 3 things, and having a cool beard is not one of them. So guess what they are? You want to guess? I'll just tell everyone.
You have to be older than 18.
Ooh, close, close. You actually have to be 18 or older, so close, that's one. The next one is kind of, you have to live in the town of Parker for at least a year, okay? And then the third one is you have to be a registered voter. That's it. You notice that you don't have to be a boy or a girl, or old or young, or fat or skinny, or smart or dumb, or any of that, right? Because all of us should be able to represent our citizens, right? All right, so everybody, please give Skyla a big round of applause. So Skyla, I'm gonna pull you out here, and I'm gonna actually take you out front, because I got a little certificate to give you, and I wanna talk to you out in front of everybody. Thank you, buddy. Okay. So Skyla, I am honored to present you this certificate that shows it's a certificate of recognition, honorary mayor for the day, awarded to Skyla Pratt on September 16th, 2019. By far, you are the best mayor I've seen today. Congratulations. Thank you very much, sweetheart. Appreciate it. Are you going to stay for the rest of the meeting? All right. Right there, you just did more than 99% of the people who come. They usually motor out pretty quick. So thanks for staying.
Now they're all like, oh, man.
Yeah, everyone else in the audience who was getting ready to leave right after her, now they're like, darn it, I got to stay. Skyla, how old are you, dear? 9 years old.
9 years
Wow.
left.
Fantastic. Love it. Love it. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the next item on our agenda, which is our consent agenda. Consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with one motion and one vote. There'll be no separate discussion on consent agenda items. Ordinances on the consent agenda are for introduction and will not be removed for discussion. So council, in front of you, you have consent agenda items 5A through 5H.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve consent agenda items 5A through 5H, please.
Second?
We have a motion from Josh and we have a second from Renee. Council, in just a sec, your voting box will appear on your screen. Motion passes 4-1 with one no vote from Cheryl Pogue. Next item on our agenda is public hearings. The first item we have up is 6A. This is a public hearing for Cottonwood Highlands, filing number 7, sketch and preliminary plan. Stacy, you're going to lead us today, right?
Yes, Mayor.
All right, rock and roll.
All right. Well, thank you, Mayor and council members. So this is an application for a sketch and preliminary plan to subdivide 38.9 acres to allow for 238 duplex units with associated parks, open space, and infrastructure. The applicant, Lennar Homes, has submitted sketch and preliminary plans for the 2 Cottonwood Highlands Planned Development mixed-use planning areas located on the south side of Cottonwood Drive at the future intersection with Lanceleaf Street to allow for duplex development. In 2003, the property was annexed into the town as part of the Cottonwood Highlands Planned Development, which allows for 1,230 residential units on approximately 224 acres. The Cottonwood Highlands Planned Development includes residential, mixed-use, commercial, and open space planning areas. The north side of Cottonwood Drive is located within the residential planning area and is currently under construction with approximately 305 single-family detached lots. One of the commercial planning areas, which is shown in yellow highlighted, is also under construction with a new gas station. The 2 mixed-use planning areas on the south side of Cottonwood Drive and the subject properties for tonight's application allows for both commercial and residential land uses. And duplex is a permitted use. The mixed-use planning area allows for an additional 920 residential units. The proposed Cottonwood Highlands filing number 7 sketch and preliminary plan identifies the layout of the subdivision to meet the standards outlined within the land development ordinance, the Cottonwood Highlands plan development, and the related roadway and stormwater design criteria manuals. The mixed-use planning area permits residential development at a density of 30 units per acre. The sketch and preliminary plan is proposing a density of 6 units per acre, which is under what is permitted. The plan development does not require a minimum lot size for duplex units, but the preliminary plan is proposing a variety of lot sizes, with the average lot being 3,600 square feet. The annexation agreement for the Cottonwood Highlands plan development outlines the amount of parks, open space, trails, and school land dedication required. The applicant is proposing approximately 5.9 acres of park space, which exceeds the minimum amount of park space required. The applicant is also proposing 2.56 acres of open space, which also satisfies the minimum requirements for open space. Trail systems are proposed to provide connectivity throughout the development. The proposed trails will link in with sidewalks and trails constructed within the neighboring subdivisions, which will provide a connection to the E470 regional trail. As outlined within the annexation agreement, the developer will be required to pay the school district a cash in lieu of land, as well as a mitigation fee. No land is proposed to be dedicated to the school district as part of this application. Main access to the development will be provided off of Cottonwood Drive and Parker House Road via the future Landsleaf Street, connecting the two roads. Landsleaf Street will then provide access to the development. An additional access is provided to the duplex development under construction to the west. Individual units will be served by private alleys. A master traffic study was prepared for Cottonwood Highlands, and a traffic conformance letter was evaluated and approved as part of the sketch and preliminary plan. So staff has reviewed the proposal and has determined that the project is consistent with the master plan. The project meets the minimum requirements of land development within the land development ordinance and the Cottonwood Highlands plan development, provides adequate access, infrastructure, drainage facilities, and design considerations. All utility providers have confirmed capacity and availability. All referral agency comments have been addressed. The Planning Commission heard this request on August 22nd and recommended approval. So therefore, staff recommends Town Council approve the Cottonwood Highlands filing number 7 sketch and preliminary plans, subject to the 2 conditions listed in the staff report. This concludes staff presentation. The applicant is here tonight and does have a presentation for you as well.
Okay. Before we invite the applicant up, council, do you have any questions for Stacy before the applicant comes up? No? Okay. The applicant's here. Come on down. If you could state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. John Cheney, Lennar, Colorado, 9193 South Jamaica Street, Englewood, Colorado, 80112. So thank you for your time tonight. I just want to give a very quick presentation, a little background of who we are, context in the site, a little bit more detail and pretty pictures to kind of explain our proposal here. So Lennar, we're a large home builder. We've been in business for 65 years. I've been active in Parker for many years. We very much enjoy being a partner with the town. We have constructed on the north side of Cottonwood Drive all of the infrastructure required for, as Stacy indicated, 305 homes. Been active there for several years, and other developments around the town. This parcel we purchased earlier this year, in February of this year. There's an existing PD and PD guide. We are not seeking any changes to the existing PD. The proposal that we have, if you go to the next slide, I think, is for what is a little bit of a unique configuration. They're duplexes, but we call them paired because the elevations actually on either side of the paired homes are different. So they're paired units, and in a lot of instances, they are on a shared driveway or motor court. And versus a typical, where you would have an alley-loaded condition where you have very, very long alleys with kids playing in alleys, this creates a situation where the front door, garage is all aligned on a central courtyard, a motor court, which doesn't exceed more than 4 homes per side, each side of that motor court, and really provides for a private area for everyone to gather, while still providing a very conventional layout of the front door and the garage are on the same side of the home, while also giving a backyard, private backyard on every home. So not every home is oriented this way, but largely this is how they're oriented. The site was fairly challenging from a layout perspective. They're very odd parcel sizes, and there's a large gas line that kind of bisects the site, as well as a collector road. And so it's very more challenging than it might appear to try to figure out what exactly is the best use of this land. But we've tried to offer a different but unique and desirable housing product, and as well as having trails and connecting into the open space. From a broader perspective, this parcel, this development really is part of the larger Cottonwood Highlands, and we have many more acres of parks and open space. In total, this will bring our amount of trails up to over 4 miles just in Cottonwood Highlands. When you add in the Com Park parcel, that's also kind of contiguous, that where everyone really sees it as one neighborhood. So I think that's really an important thing to remember. This is a part of a larger neighborhood that is all kind of developing at a similar time. So, second specific thing I wanted to mention, parking is on higher density product is always a topic of conversation. So we tried to kind of take this head on, where every home, as you can see in this typical, every home not only has your typical 2 cars in every garage, but also has enough driveway length to have 2 cars for guest parking in front of the home, which is materially different than a lot of higher density attached product where the alley side has no parking. Additionally, on the street side, on the front of a motor court, you have all additional guest parking above and beyond the guest parking in front of the home. Is there one more slide?
Sorry.
So, in conclusion, we believe we meet the criteria of the PUD and code, and appreciate your support, and I'm happy to answer questions.
John, thank you very much. Council, do you have any questions for John? Josh?
I do. Thank you. You can leave it, that one, please. So, first of all, I appreciate the product. It's definitely a need in this community. Is this an age-specific product, or are we talking all ages here?
It's not restricted all ages, and as you would suspect, we've found in similar product, you have all walks of life, all different living situations that are interested in this product type.
I obviously appreciate what you had to work through running down the middle of it with the easement. My concern is there's a little bit of lack of connectivity. It looks to me to squeeze in 4 more lots, maybe 2 more lots for a central park. I understand, but I'm looking at it, Mr. Cheney, and I see an exercise in children stacking blocks. We're squeezing it in, and I understand the profitability, especially in today's construction prices, but I'm a little concerned with I would say, just a few lots in particular, or maybe squeezing some more walkways into it. But I'd be interested to come back to that.
Okay.
I'll let other counsel, but that's what I'm thinking, and I'll come back to it.
Okay. Cheryl?
Yeah, you're talking about trails. Can you identify where those are? Are you using just sidewalks, or do you have trails that will connect into other trail systems that'll get us to the regional trails?
So, actually, I'll answer 3 different parts. So there are specific trails that are not adjacent to roads. Those are generally on the south end, and this is in the context of the overall Cottonwood Highlands development, which is branded as Dove Village. On the south side, you can see the trail that this will connect to the parcel to the west, which is under construction, which connects to Chambers Road. You have another trail that is on the north side of Cottonwood Highlands that goes generally east to west throughout the entire development, connects Chambers to Jordan or pretty close to it. There is another trail that bisects just to the north, kind of where there's a drainage way that goes through, and then also where the gas easement is. So there is a perimeter, the intent of having a perimeter connection as well as some internal connections. There are sidewalks on collector roads and arterial roads, Chambers, Jordan, on both sides of Cottonwood, Lansleaf, and Parker House. And so I do believe, I drove it today, I do believe that somebody could ride their bike on a sidewalk or a trail, mostly from here to the rec center.
So in looking at this preliminary plan, if I'm looking at this correctly, your trail has got some buffering between that and the roadway. What is the distance from the road? Because you're stacking a trail next. If there's a sidewalk there, it's pretty hard to discern exactly what you're doing.
I believe, I'm not sure if you're looking at Lansleaf, which is the north-south road, I believe those sidewalks have been pulled off from the alignment that it would conventionally be 5-8 feet or so offset from the back of curb and gutter. This, I believe, is pulled off so it goes more through the center of the tract and is more pedestrian friendly, I think, in those tracks. So I don't believe that there's redundant sidewalks.
I would just question the use of a supplemental trail to be used as a sidewalk. It should really be more of an interior product. It should not be adjacent to a roadway. You're substituting what you're classifying as a trail for a sidewalk. Am I correct?
Understood. In some cases, there are instances where we may be loosely calling it a trail when it is effectively also a sidewalk.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Yep, understood.
Okay. Other questions? Jeff? Debbie? Renee? No? Josh, did you have anything else?
No, I'll wait for public comment.
Okay. Thank you very much. We'll go ahead and open it up for public comment at 7:38 p.m. if there's anyone here wishing to address council on this item. Skyla, do you want to come on up? No, I'm just teasing, sweetie. You don't have, she's like, I'm ready. No. All right. Well, then we'll close public comment at 7:38 p.m. and I would entertain further discussion or a motion, please.
So, Mr. Mayor, if I may, Mr. Cheney, can I invite you back up, please? Mr. Cheney, why, this is an interesting situation. Why this is a product we need. Let there be no misgivings about that. This is a product that we definitely need. This is a missing loop in our community, but we want it, I believe, we want it to live up to what we see in Parker. I trust Lennar. It's a great builder. I just think we've squeezed the most out of this situation. I'm prepared to make a motion with a list of conditions, identifying a little bit more greenways, identifying fitness parks, identifying, frankly, the loss of at least 2 lots. I would like to see Birch Lane cut through and connect to Snowborn Drive for that police connectivity, for that fire connectivity. I think that's an issue. I could make a motion tonight with a bunch of conditions, or I'd be happy to make a motion to continue to a date certain. In a rare situation, I'm going to leave that decision up to you.
We've definitely enjoyed our relationship with the town, with staff. I feel, so what I heard, it feels a little bit more specific than I might be willing to venture down with. I mean, we looked at the Birch Run connection, we worked on a bunch, and there was issues with the offsets, and there were some specific things I think that you mentioned that we've worked through that we did not come. There's a reason why that didn't connect through.
Okay, I think Birch Run is probably the least. When I asked about the age of the group, I understand a perennial garden if it's a 55 community. I don't if you've got a bunch of young ones running around.
Sure.
I understand a trail on the backside, but if there's no amenities on that trail on the backside, what if the fitness is moved down there? I definitely have a list. I could read you the list, and we could talk about making a motion with these conditions included, or we could move to a date certain, 30 days out, 60 days out, and come back and revisit.
I think, happy to look at specifics. I think it would be beneficial to be able to work with staff in detail on exactly what are the right things that we wind up doing here. I mean, if it's adding amenities to existing spaces, we're on board with that.
Okay.
It's just, I think it comes down to what is the right thing.
Okay,
And-
I will give you a heads up. One of mine is losing 2 lots to increase your Central Park. So that's definitely going to take some talking, I believe. Would 60 days be enough? Is 30 days enough?
I would like to say 30 would be enough.
Okay. With that, I move to continue to a date certain of October 21st.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion from Josh and a second from Cheryl. Council, please be patient because it'll take staff just a sec to update your voting block. Make sure it's gone.
I want to clarify, this is going to go for the extension for postponement,
Continuance.
correct? Because it doesn't read that way. I want to make sure we're voting on the right thing.
The motion is to continue it to a date certain, so that's what you have in your system that you're voting on. Okay. Okay, so for the record, you're voting to continue this to a date certain 30 days from now,
October 24th.
October 21st.
Okay.
Okay? Motion to continue passes unanimously.
Mr. Cheney, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, if I could. Mr. Cheney, thank you. I trust that we together can make this even better. Again, I can't reiterate enough how much we need this product. I appreciate you bringing it to us. I just think we can tweak it a little bit better and maybe even increase your profit.
Thank you. Thank you
sir.
very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Next item on our agenda is item 6B. There's 2 parts to this. This is for Lot 1, O'Brien Park. Part 1 is site plan amendment for H2 O'Brien Pool and building remodel. And Part 2 is H2 O'Brien Pool and building remodel project CIP 19-017. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Now, this is your second time in front of us, right, Brianna?
It is.
All right. You're ready to rock and roll. You're an old pro at this now.
I hope so.
Well, you're sitting next to an old pro, so I said old, not old. Old, O-L-E, old pro. All right. Go ahead, Brianna.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Town Council.
I think
This
I
is
was
a proposal for a site plan amendment and a trade contract agreement for the site improvements at H2 O'Brien Pool within the O'Brien Park. The site is located on the north side of Main Street between Parker Road and Victorian Drive within the Greater Downtown District Town Center. This project proposes to address a number of issues on the current site, both functional and aesthetic. The proposed amendment intends to update the existing pool amenities, which include a new aquatic play structure, new shade structures, and additional seating areas. A small area of the pool deck will be regraded to allow for better drainage, and additionally, minor modifications to the exterior of the building, including outdoor changing areas, doors, and lighting modifications are being proposed. Staff has reviewed the proposal as outlined within the staff report and has determined that the project is consistent with the master plan. The project is consistent with the commercial, industrial, and multifamily design standards, and the public notice requirements have been met. Planning Commission heard this item on September 12th of 2019 and recommended approval. This item will also award a trade contract agreement with A.D. Miller Services Incorporated for the H2 O'Brien Pool and Building Remodel Project. The total potential contract amount is $2,753,720.33. The funds for this project have been budgeted and appropriated in the Parks, Recreation, and Open Space Fund. Staff and Planning Commission recommend that the Town Council approve the site plan amendment request to Lot 1 O'Brien Park for the renovation of the pool area and the building. Additionally, staff recommends that the Town Council approve the trade contract agreement with A.D. Miller Services Incorporated for the completion of the identified improvements. Staff is available for any questions that Town Council may have, and the applicant is also present this evening for any technical questions.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Council, do you have any questions for Brianna?
No.
No? Seeing none. Anything else to add? You good? Okay. We'll go ahead and open it up for public comment then at 7:45 p.m. if there's anyone here wishing to address council. Skyla, I saw you get real excited when that came up on there. Do you want to come down for public comment? Do you have anything you want to add? No? Okay. All right. Then we're going to close public comment at 7:46 p.m. I do have one question, but council, do you have any questions before I entertain a motion?
No.
So the question I have is probably more for Jim Cleveland. I'm curious, the new pool structure, I know we looked at different options and opportunities and things like that. Can you talk to a little bit about some of the more modern features in terms of mobility challenge and things like that with that new facility or new structure?
I can as soon as we figure out the microphone. Much like with what we're going to be doing at the playground at O'Brien Park, H2 O'Brien will become much more inclusive as well and much more intended for all abilities. So we're really redoing the entire park with the hope that it will be as inclusive as possible for the entire community, and that will include obviously both getting in and out of the water, using the playground over at O'Brien Park, but also the new structure that we've got coming in. The play structure at the pool itself will be much more inclusive. So it's really updating, but also improving all of the amenities that we have in that park over the next two projects.
Sure. And I apologize, I should have asked that to Dennis, because you're here in the role of Deputy Town Administrator,
That's
not
quite all right.
Recreation Director. So, all right, cool. All right, well, with no other questions, I would entertain a motion. There's two separate items in front of you guys.
I move to approve the site plan amendment for Lot 1, O'Brien Park, based on staff findings in the staff report.
Second.
We have a motion from Josh, and we have a second from Debbie. Council, please vote when your box pops up. No boxes?
Mine did, yeah.
Yours did? Okay. Renee?
Wait, hold, hold.
It's not me.
Renee, are you voting yes? She's voting yes. Okay. Motion passes unanimously. Next item up is item number 7. These are our ordinances. 7A is ordinance number 9.300 on second reading. This is continued from September
Don't we
3rd.
have the second part?
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize. I jumped past that. Yeah,
contract?
you got one more part. Go ahead. Sorry, Chief. Wait one sec. I was getting ready for you. Man, I saw you coming up and you're ready to go. And all right, go ahead. We need a motion on second item.
I move to approve the staff recommendation for this contract.
Second.
Motion from Debbie and a second from Renee. Council, please vote. Better slow down. Dennis threw me off my game there, man. It's because he's got the most normal shoes on I think I've ever seen him wear. Normally he's got crazy wild shoes. How's the socks?
Yeah, I was going to say, check the socks.
Motion passes unanimously. Now we move on to our next item, 7A. This is ordinance number 9.300 on second reading. This has been continued from September 3rd, 2019. This is a bill for an ordinance approving the intergovernmental agreement between the Town of Parker and American Academy regarding the sharing of costs for police officer to act as school resource officer. Chief King.
Tonight you have a intergovernmental agreement between.
Could you check your button? I think you're. There you go. There you go. All right.
Okay, Stacy told me it was on.
Say, she lied. She lied.
So you have an intergovernmental agreement between the town of Parker and American Academy, which it's two American academies, the one on Mossenbacher and the one on Lincoln Meadows. And this is a charter school. So each of these schools have one full-time SRO that they're sharing at this point. The charter school is paying 50%, just like the SROs with Douglas County schools. There's $7,500 that also comes along for equipment. There's no overtime. The SROs with the Douglas County schools have 90 hours of overtime that they put in, but this one doesn't have that just because there's no events that they have to work after hours. So we'd like council to make a motion to approve this ordinance.
Okay. Council, do you have any questions for Chief?
So Chief, just for clarification, the reason American Academy is looking at the SRO versus the SMO is they have middle school age kids.
Middle-aged.
Middle-aged.
They have middle-aged kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Define middle age and define kids.
Correct?
That is correct.
Thank you, sir.
Other questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll open it up for public comment at 7:51 PM if there's anyone here to address council on middle-aged kids. All right, seeing none, we'll close public comment at 7:51, and I would entertain further discussion or a motion, please.
Thanks, just one more question.
Yep, absolutely.
Chief, did we find an SRO within, or are we going to have to recruit to backfill? We're
No, we have
stretching
an
to get
SRO from
Cimarrons.
within.
Okay.
But there's discussion on a FTE as we move forward with the school district and the way the 50% works out. And we've talked to Michelle as well as with finance, and we're still working out that stuff in the
Okay.
back.
Okay.
I move to approve ordinance number 9.300 on second reading.
I'll second that.
We have a motion from Josh and a second from Cheryl. I have to say that slowly. Second from Cheryl. Please vote.
For me.
You guys are all tongue-tied.
I know, I don't know, it's something in the, is it a full moon? That was last week.
Mayor, the monitor won't change, so please note for the record that you are voting on ordinance 9.300.
Okay. We are the motion is for ordinance number 9.300.
That's what came out.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the monitor up here is not,
that's what mine.
okay. Technology.
I think we got some parks money.
We have some parks money, we can get new technology. Since the monitor's not working, let me know. Cheryl?
I did.
All right, motion passes unanimously. Next item on our agenda, council, this is, there's been a request to have this continued, so I will need this is for ordinance number 9.301 on second reading. I will need a motion to continue ordinance number 9.301 on second reading to a date certain of October 7th, 2019.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion from Renee and a second from Debbie. Council, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. Next item up is item 8 for our resolutions. This is resolution number 19-063. This is a resolution to a resolution of the town council supporting an increase in the excise tax on new residential development in the town of Parker. Kristen, you are going to lead the show.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In July, the Town Council voted to submit to the town voters a ballot measure to increase the excise tax imposed on new residential development within the town of Parker. The Fair Campaign Practices Act allows the Town Council to pass a resolution of support on any issue of official concern before the town's electorate. And this resolution is a resolution supporting the increase in the excise tax. That item has been placed on the ballot as issue 2A. If you pass this resolution tonight, we are also allowed under the Fair Campaign Practices Act to disseminate information concerning its passage, which we will do on our website and through our town newsletter and such. So I'm available if there's any questions.
Council, any questions for Kristen?
In layman's terms, can you explain what an excise tax is, when it's paid, and whom this excise tax applies to, please?
So this excise tax is paid at the time of building permit, so it's paid primarily by the home builders, such as Lennar that was in front of you today. It is paid only on new development, so people in their existing homes would not have to come in and pay an excise tax. It's for people that are constructing new homes or new commercial buildings. This ballot measure only increases the excise tax on the residential portion. The commercial portion of our excise tax is remaining unchanged.
Other questions? Jeff?
Kristen, today, how is this money being obtained by the town? Or how is new development money being obtained by the
So
town?
right now on new development, we have an existing excise tax, so this increases the excise tax. So we do collect an excise tax, and we also collect impact fees from developers on new residential and commercial development within the town. Is that the question?
Yep.
Okay.
So then if this excise tax passes, we will abandon the impact fee.
If this excise tax passes, your impact fee ordinance provides that it would be immediately repealed, and we would only be collecting excise tax.
Okay, and for the commercial development, for the business community, can you talk to the difference between the impact fee amount versus the excise tax fee amount?
I'm sorry, I do not have that information. I can get it. If you'd like to take a brief recess, I can get the information.
Nope.
Okay.
That's it.
I would like it because I've been asked that question.
Okay. Are you moving to have it recessed, or you just want the information?
No, I just want the information.
Okay.
Okay. Other questions?
For the record, how many years has it been since the excise tax has been increased?
I don't think so it was put in place in 2000, I believe, and it has not been increased by the voters. It has in the excise tax, there's a provision that allows it to be increased based on the consumer price index, and so it does go up incrementally. The increase on the excise tax will be a bigger increase to catch it up to where it should be, and then going forward, it would be increased according to the construction cost index.
Because construction cost has outgrown or outpaced consumer.
Inflation, yes, considerably.
Considerably. So this is, in my opinion, this is growth paying for growth. Somebody wants to move into Parker, it costs X to pay for your needs. Thank you.
Other questions? Okay. We'll open it up for public comment, and I think we've only got one public. Not One Republic. Is that a band? One Republic, or is that One Public? Who's got teenage? You got teenage. One Republic. Okay, you want to come sing some One Republic songs? I couldn't even tell you a One Republic song if you wanted to sing it. You could make something up. It'd be good. You good? All right. Well, public comment was opened at 7:58. I don't see any movement, so we're going to go ahead and close public comment at 7:58, and I would entertain further discussion or a motion.
I move to approve resolution number 19-063.
Second.
We have a motion from Renee and a second from Debbie. Council, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. With no further business before council, we will adjourn at 7:58 p.m.